Suns Up Season Tip-Off Special is sponsored by Fry's.
Right now on an AZ Family Sports Special.
I'm doing what I love every day. I'm waking up in the morning and just doing basketball.
The Suns are set for a new season with new faces.
I have a learner's mind. I'm trying to learn from the people that has been doing it longer than me, whether it's players, coaches, anybody.
Me being Dylan the villain is just me playing hard, competing like no one else does. That's a narrative I put out there now.
Under new management.
If you don't have a vision of what you want it to look like, you're never going to get there.
I think it's just a continuous, everyday type of learning that we're striving for.
But the standard remains the same.
I have unfinished business here, so, I'm not going to stop until I get that.
All that and more right here, right now on Suns Up Season Tip-Off Special. Hey, let's get it going. Welcome to the AZ Family Studio as we get set to tip off a brand new season of Phoenix Suns basketball. Mark McClune, Nick King, and Suns sideline reporter Amanda Pflugrad. Thanks for joining us in studio. We have a new season here and a new perspective for the Suns.
Yeah, guys, great to be here. New perspective for sure. You got a new general manager, new head coach, but the vibes, I have to say, have been great with this team, getting to sit in and watch practices throughout training camp. The guys are having fun. They're celebrating each other and working on over communicating too, and just being a solid group together.
There's been such a national focus on this team the last couple of years. I don't think that's going to be here. I think we might enjoy watching them more, though, especially than last year.
Yeah, I think everybody just kind of ready to turn the page to 2025, 2026. So as we turn the page here, let's first address the elephant that's no longer in the room the last 2 years. The Suns entered the season with a big three comprised of Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. This year, KD is in Houston. Beal is with the Clippers. It's the same as it was before 2023, with Booker serving as the standard bearer in Phoenix.
Obviously a disappointment bringing in two highly respected players here and, having the expectation of, win or nothing and, not even making the playoffs. So, I feel like that's as low as they can get, but realizing we have a good opportunity. We have a young and youthful group now. You've seen the last finals, you watch OKC and Indiana, and, I feel like that's a bit of the recipe, having a deep team that plays fast and plays hard and together.
Booker mentioning the youth movement in Phoenix after fielding the second oldest roster in the league last year with an average age topping 28 years old. This year, that number is almost 3 full years younger, thanks to a handful of rookies and second-year guys like Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro. But youth doesn't have to be synonymous with inexperience, particularly when it comes to Jalen Green. I think everybody excited to watch this guy play and see what he can do. The 23-year-old already entering his 5th NBA season. It doesn't turn 24 until February. He hasn't missed a game in 2 years now. He's going to miss opening night, but he was a crucial part of the Rockets winning 52 games last season on their way to the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. Green believes his own youth and experience playing with other young developing players will be a benefit to the Suns this season.
We're a young team, so it's like I know what that's like to be on a young team and, relying on playing fast and playing harder than everyone else. I think if we lock in and do those things and, we're going to be able to score the ball, we're going to have space and we have a great young talent. So putting that all together, I think we could do whatever.
Got to get his hamstring right, though, for opening night, hopefully the next night or the first week at least. Green has been a standout since arriving in the league at just 19 years old. In 4 seasons, he's averaging more than 20 points per game on 42% from the floor, adding more than 4 rebounds and 3 assists per game. His long-range shooting can be a bit inconsistent, but he hit a career-high 35% from three-point land last season.
The other new guy from the Rockets, Dylan Brooks, isn't as young at 29 years old, but playing harder than everyone else? Yeah, no arguing that. Few NBA players exemplify love him if he's on your team, hate him if he's not, more than Dylan the villain, who leads the NBA in technical fouls over the last 3 seasons.
Wow, now Dylan Brooks takes exception to it, and now Brooks gets in there.
Dylan the villain.
Technical foul on Brooks.
Did you start that?
I think somebody started, usually the good nicknames, somebody gives it to you. So embraced it, loved it. Still do. It puts, a thought in people's minds and
Brooks coming in at the end, and at the windup.
makes me play hard.
Okay, so you embraced it from the beginning. You were cool with it?
I had one instant where I wasn't okay with it because I feel like everybody was coming around, like falling on me.
Flagrant 2, Brooks is done.
Refs, coaches, bickering back and forth, trying to say I'm a dirty player, this, that, blah, blah. And then it created a persona. Me being Dylan the villain is just me playing hard, competing like no one else does.
And a technical foul for hanging on the rim.
That's a narrative I put out there now, and you have to go through a little bit of heartache and misconception to get to where you want to be.
Yeah, so how do you best explain what you think those misconceptions are about who you are and how you play?
It's dead, and Brooks comes now, you could get a taunting technical on Brooks for that.
Angry, loudmouth, whatever, just no filter. But me off the court, I'm chill. I'm a team guy who loves to hang around people and very generous as well.
No good. Brooks the offensive rebound. And now he and Short have to be separated.
The thing that I know you are is tough and gritty, and that's been like the conversation around here about what this team needed to become that it hasn't been. How much has coaches, management talked with you about being a big part of bringing that here?
For sure, I think that's why we got the deal done.
You cannot stop and dribble in front of this guy. It just unleashes him.
I bring that toughness, competitiveness, togetherness to teams, and the Suns wanted that. I think they were missing that, so they got rid of the one that doesn't play like that. They told me just be me and just play my game, play hard.
How do you approach that in terms of instilling that here? Is that a vocal thing, or is that a watch how I play, you're going to be forced to play that way?
I think it's all around. I'll lead by example when we start playing games. I feel like in the gym I've been trying to create that energy and that competitiveness.
Get up!
That assertiveness that you have to have every single game. And then it's a little being vocal, talking to the young guys. Also, Ryan.
Stay on your feet, youngin'!
How to approach the game, how to, get your game better every single time. And then, creating that positive energy and high intensity every single day so we can get 1% better, so we can meet our goals.
Got rid of the one who doesn't play like that.
Yeah, that was the headline there. Good job, Nick King, on the sit down. Yeah.
So last season with Houston, Brooks stayed relatively healthy, playing and starting 75 games. He averaged 14 points with almost 4 rebounds and 2 assists, playing 32 minutes per night. But his impact on a team doesn't fill up the counting stats, instead serving as a relentless perimeter defender, often forcing opponents into low percentage shots. And I talked to him about what he was talking with Devin Booker about when he first got here. And he said they talked about Book wanting it to get back to a team that played like they did in 2021 when they went to the finals. Relentless, energetic.
Yeah, and you saw in China, they were having a lot of fun. The smiles over Dylan Brooks shopping for Labubu or Labubus. I don't know which one it is.
I think he has multiple.
Okay, I wanted to clarify that. You could do a sideline hit and do some of your your research on that. But what's the over/under on technical fouls for Dylan Brooks this year, and how many times he about blows the roof off the Mortgage Matchup Center by getting everybody going?
Well, I think that's what the Suns team needed, right? When they brought him in, he said that that's something that he thrives in, of just being that competitive nature. And a lot of the other players have talked about how they're feeding off that right now, and you can see that. So that's amazing to be able to witness too. And I was able to ask him on media day more so where that tough competitive nature comes from. He said he prides himself on that. His family coming from Nova Scotia, they grew up with nothing, and he said he always wanted to be as tough as his father and his cousins. So he said that that's something that he wants to live by as well, and being a country boy, not a city boy, like we talked about.
Which is why I wore the overalls to the last preseason game.
Very fitting.
I think we might be all wearing overalls by the end of the season if things go according to Dylan Brooks' plan. Meanwhile, Jalen Green, we're not going to see him for the first couple games, but you put Jalen Green, Devin Booker on the floor together at the same time. Who's the point guard, and does it even matter?
I think that's going to be one of the most interesting things to watch, is how they coexist. Jalen Green's so athletic. He's such a highlight machine. And it really didn't work that well with Book when he was out there with Bradley Beal for the few times that they played together the last couple seasons.
The hook shot.
Another non-traditional point. But I'm excited to see how they play off each other.
Right, and they've talked about that a little bit, about building that chemistry. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to do it quite as much so far, just starting out and with the regular season opening night, Jalen not being available. But two, I think you look at Jalen Green, someone that's able to take off some of the pressure that Book's going to have. So I am very curious to see how that works out. But that was also something, too. This is Book's team still, and he's talked about that leadership role, wanting to help the guys and getting the group together. But I know Jalen and him have had those conversations too.
Yeah, the identity of the roster, we know this. It's going to be more competitive. They want to make the hustle plays. They want to dive on the floor, and they say that fans are going to leave the arena feeling a lot better about the team here.
I think they will.
Still ahead.
He's what I call a searcher. He's always searching.
Suns head coach Jordan Ott brings a mindset of continuous improvement to Phoenix.
Because every group is so unique. Every situation, every challenge you go through in the season is so unique. Is there a better way to do it?
How he plans to keep up with an ever-changing league. Plus,
I just love the togetherness that basketball brings in and how far it really takes people.
a new group of rookies look to find their place in the NBA with a little help in the locker room.
And to now be on the same team with him, like it's crazy, man, honestly.
He's what I call a searcher. He's always searching. You have to be trying to find ways that can change this player's game, can impact this player's game, can help the team in this way or that way. And he's always searching for that.
Phoenix Suns are under new management heading into this season. Brian Gregory, promoted to general manager back in May, made his first big hire shortly after new head coach Jordan Ott. Ott becomes the fourth head coach to lead this team in 4 years, taking over from Mike Budenholzer, who was let go during the offseason after missing the playoffs. Bud took over for Frank Vogel. Suns made a postseason appearance under Vogel, but were swiftly swept out of the first round. That was his only season in Phoenix after taking over for Monty Williams, who was just 2 years removed from leading the Suns to a franchise record 64 wins in 2022 and that Western Conference title in 2021. Unlike the previous three honchos, Ott's never been a head coach in the NBA, and at 40 years old, he's one of the youngest head coaches in the league now, but isn't lacking for experience. He's been an assistant for the last 12 years with the Hawks, Nets, Lakers, and most recently, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Because every group is so unique. Every situation, every challenge you go through in the season is so unique. Is there a better way to do it instead of just referring back, hey, I've done this way in the past, and this is the way we're going to do it. We don't want that in our coaching staff. If there's a better way out there, let's try it. We don't know exactly what the next coming is. You know, we can try to anticipate some of the trends in the league. A lot of it's predicated off of the successful teams from last year and the playoffs of what we all sit down and watch. It's really hard in the season to keep up with what's going on around the league, and especially in this new position, I'm going to have less time to look broader scope than just our team. So we have some processes and some groups that will be looking out there. Obviously, analytics is a big piece of it, but we have some of our coaches that are going to be assigned to just explore. Is it in the NBA? I think the Olympics last year showed a lot of people. I think Eurobasket is a great way to show or just try to find new solutions that are out there.
Well, Amanda, you've had a chance to sit down and talk to Coach Ott a little bit on the road with this team in the preseason. What have you learned about the way he makes decisions and goes about collecting information?
I think with him, I mean, obviously he has the experience and he knows that he belongs in this position, the amount of years that he's spent in the league. But the biggest thing with him, he has a lot of humility. He'll open up and say, look, I'm new to this and I'm going to take feedback. I don't know everything, and you really appreciate that from a head coach coming in, just the honesty. But when he actually took the broadcasters when we were in Palm Desert, sat us down and talked to us about navigating this season, some areas that he wanted to focus in, how he wanted to handle certain things when it comes to injuries, just having an open and honest conversation. And guys, I thought that, that just really spoke to who he was. And he admitted, this is my first time doing this with the media. Please tell me if you see something, give me feedback. I don't think I'm going to do that because, at least not yet, because he's handled it really well. But I've been really impressed with him.
Yeah, he's trying extremely hard right now. Just making sure everyone knows he plays baseball. But he's an okay athlete. He did a good job fielding.
Why would I not try hard? I'm playing on an MLB field. I would try hard. I'm not gonna tell myself I'm a dummy. But it's cool, People do what they want to do as well, so does. So as he's learning from my brother how to play, so he's trying hard. Okay, buddy.
Let's talk about the fun-loving Sun sophomores Ryan Dunn and Oso Iguodaro having some fun this summer before throwing out the first pitch at a Diamondbacks game, and they're always up for hanging out with the kids and busting each other's chops. After joining the Suns as rookies last year, the pair have become ambassadors for the team.
Both they really have. They're everywhere.
Oh, they should have their own show. They've had solid showings in their first NBA season, Dunn making 74 appearances, 44 starts, while Oso got on the court in 61 games, making 6 starts as a rookie. Both playing roughly 20 minutes per game while showing some efficiency in their scoring, and we'll likely see them much more soon. I do wonder if both of them could start on opening night, but they went to the Summer League. I think were challenged to take the next step, and they really came out of the blocks in Vegas and looked like they had. Can they do it now in this NBA season?
And they both talked about just how they want to take the steps forward, not only on the court with their playing ability and what they focused on this offseason, but as leaders too. It's so weird that they're hearing that they're not rookies anymore. But they're saying with being leaders on the court, they want to be more vocal, they want to offer more feedback. And a lot of the rookies coming in have said that it's been Ryan and Oso that have taken them under their wing, showed them the ropes, telling them what to expect and helping them navigate this new process. So they really are wanting to help the guys below them.
They don't feel like second-year players. This was their first real offseason in the NBA because the last year there's so much draft prep and figuring out what's new and everything. They've now gone through the rigors for a full season, and they spent a lot of time. Both of them bulked up over the offseason, and you get a lot of time to work on your game. I think Dunn does start, and I think both of them look much improved offensively this season.
And they both got to play a lot as rookies, so that time on task is certainly going to help them out here in 2025, 2026. But let's talk about that new crop of rookies who will try to show the same kind of dedication, and hopefully the personality is Dunn and Oso, but mainly they're hoping to make an impact with the Phoenix Suns for years to come.
Youth will be served for the Suns in 2025. The trio of Kaman Malawach, Rasheer Fleming, and Kobe Brea ushering in a new attitude.
We talked multiple months ago about some things that were going to be really important to us. Finding guys that were highly competitive, finding guys that were gritty and were going to be tough and were going to be physical and not afraid to hit somebody on the glass.
Draft night was emotional for Malawach. The 19-year-old was selected with the 10th overall pick out of Duke. He started playing basketball just 5 years ago and has an entire continent in his corner. And after some wheeling and dealing, the Suns moving up to select Rasheer Fleming from St. Joe's, a slasher who can also shoot the three. Fleming isn't taking for granted the opportunity to play in the NBA.
It's been times where I was not too sure. I wasn't worried about my future and outcome and stuff, but it was kind of in a moment of maybe wasn't getting a lot of play time and stuff, but I kind of just kept trusting God, honestly, and just kept pushing through, kept trusting my work, and then now I'm here. It's a great feeling to see that everything just turned out how it was supposed to. I can't even describe it.
And with the 41st pick of the second round, the Suns selecting Kobe Brea, a player some thought was the best shooter in the draft.
What was it like getting the call that you'd been drafted?
Man, my heart just sank. It was wow, this is really happening right now. It's whether it was, not really being highly recruited, coming out of high school, going to a smaller mid-major school, and going to Kentucky. I'm having surgery, getting metal put in both of my shins. It was a lot, you know, so. But those are all just, you know, experiences that you go through and you learn from them, and it just makes you a better person.
And Brea quickly experienced the Booker treatment in the NBA Summer League. After lighting it up in Game 1, Brea got double-teamed.
And what's it mean to be joining the same team as Booker?
Man, it means a lot. You know, he's a big reason why I went to Kentucky in the first place. Obviously, I had dreamed about going there my whole life, but to know that somebody like him, who I modeled my game after, went there, and to now be on the same team with him, like, it's crazy, man, honestly.
And despite being drafted the highest, Malawatch knows he has the most room for growth.
And I'm just looking forward to all the learning experiences, more knowledge about the game of basketball. I mean, I'm doing what I love every day. I just love the way basketball brings everybody together. All the kids, all different races from different countries, and I just love the togetherness that basketball brings and how far it really takes people.
And as this Suns rookie class embarks on their first NBA season, they know they won't have to go through the journey alone.
All right, but Amanda, when they go through a practice, that actually might be more difficult than playing in some of these games.
Yeah, so Dylan Brooks weighed in on Rasheer, just saying he has all the intangibles, all the potential. He said just coming in and being new to the league, he's going to have to rough him up a little bit, get him used to that high physicality that they have in the NBA. But, you know, they've just been really complimentary of that whole rookie class as well.
Coming up,
you want like a fun fact?
Digging into the past with Matt Ishbia.
Yeah, I'm in a music video with the Backstreet Boys.
How the Suns owner found himself spending time with one of the biggest bands of a generation.
You want like a fun fact? I'll give you a fun
fact. That one.
I got a fun fact. Tell me. People are surprised, and you'll like this because it's right up your alley of what you're asking me about. But yeah, I'm in a music video with the Backstreet Boys.
Shut up!
A long time ago.
What are you doing?
I would love to say I was a backup dancer, but I'm not. It was the music video called The One. They came to Michigan State when I played on the team, and they did. They wanted to practice with us. So there's some shots of us in their like while they were in Michigan State year, and I'm in the video, but I'm not really doing much.
Okay, so you're not cabbage patching?
No, I'm not doing anything. So it's not as fun as you'd like, but it is a fun fact for you if you want something kind of off the wall. I never really tell anybody.
I will take that.
Nobody digs up the fun details like Yetta Gibson, and you can watch that on her show here on Arizona's Family. We hope this team is going to be good this season. We see some pieces that could point us in that direction and that come to that conclusion, but we know they're going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, oh, definitely. You have Ryan and Oso that apparently were doing magic tricks on the flight to and from China. The team's still trying to figure out how they exactly did it, but they're working together. And then you have a guy in Kaman. The vets have said he's really vocal out there. It surprised them for being only 19 years old. But they said, too, yesterday, Jordan Goodwin, Kaman sings.
Yeah,
He comes in singing every single day. R&B, country, whatever. So we're going to get him to sing for us at some point. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what kind of tune the Suns can sing this season. This is Arizona's Family Sports. This has been our Suns Up Tip-Off Special. We're your home for the Suns all year. Enjoy the season, everybody.
To keep watching Arizona's Family, download our free streaming app, AZF+. Get unique local content, breaking news, and first alert weather anytime.